Hey peeps, we are back. We are talking the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 12, Episode 4. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. Before we get into the episode, I did see some pictures on Garcelle's Instagram that her, Sutton, and Denise actually went out and had lunch together the other day, and they really enjoyed catching up and seeing what was going on in each other's lives. Really like to see Sutton and Garcelle together, and I really like to see that they are spending time with Denise. And it's also nice to see that Garcelle is still keeping her friendship with Lisa Vanderpump. And of course, in the show, this episode, we saw that her son Oliver has recently been hired by Lisa Vanderpump. I don't know exactly what his job title is. She didn't say. I don't know if he's working at maybe Sir. Maybe he's going to be on Vanderpump Rules next season. Not really sure. But I'm glad to see that her and Lisa are holding on to their friendship. Also, the ladies are acting a little shady, and I think it's because they know that every season Andy Cohen asks Lisa Vanderpump to come back to the show, and every season she says no. If she really wanted to come back, she could snatch the crown. That's all I'm saying. So when the show starts out, it's the next day. The ladies are still in La Quinta, California. I did think it was kind of cool since they live on that golf course, I believe, that Kyle was able to call over to the club manager and get mimosas and Bloody Marys delivered. That was really nice. So the ladies are sitting around and they're talking about what happened the night before with Crystal. Garcelle was letting them know that Crystal was extremely upset and she was ready to go home. She's just over this situation, and I can understand. You know what I mean? When you are trying to get your point across and you have these grown women battling you every second of the way, I totally understand that I would just be ready to go home. You know, let's go home to the husband who directed The Lion King. Remember last season when she kept letting everybody know that? That was hilarious. I'll never forget it. But yeah, I wouldn't want to be bothered with these women. Garcelle decides to call Crystal. Now, we all know that they have to have these calls on speakerphone. However, Garcelle tries to move out of the sitting area where they are to a private area so she can have this conversation. Kyle actually goes as close to Garcelle as she can get so she can eavesdrop. Dorit is somewhere talking about, hush, I'm trying to eavesdrop. I mean, this was just a bit much, and it's extremely obvious.
They've been dragged through the mud for something that didn't do, never happened. We're not even sure that there were people that weren't paid.
No way.
Yeah, way. You can allege anything in a lawsuit, Garcelle.
And you could sue for anything.
I can't admit to something that I don't know happened.
I felt like there was a massive campaign to try and negate how I was feeling. Not easy just to pour my heart out to you guys when all I'm being told is a word I'm using is too strong. Because of everyone's reaction, I chose to...
My God, this dog is a This dog is vicious.
Go ahead, Chris.
I'm so sorry.
I always think I'm a fixer and trying to patch things up.
Fixer and a stirrer.
No, I actually try to fix things.
Half and half. No matter what she said, she could have said the sky is blue. You were going to say, are you that girl? Because I just felt like it was a setup.
Now that you know me, do you still think that?
I don't know.
Oh, there was a lot more said prior to that.
Okay.
That was very dark. You were there.
I know, but I don't remember the
You
part.
probably blocked it out of your head. You were drunk.
Okay, so first of all, I just have to say this again. I think it's really rude and I think it's really disgusting, these dog situation. You know, you have guests here. The dogs are putting their mouths so close to these people's plates. They're on the plates, they're on the table, they're touching all the food. Listen, I love a dog. I love a cat. You know, I'm an animal person, but no ma'am. No ma'am. I cannot comfortably enjoy a meal if there is a dog eating my cheese off the side of my plate. If I see the dog up on the counter trying to have a little shrimp, I mean, it's just too much. Okay, now this situation with Crystal. Ma'am, I'm sorry. I have to go against Crystal here. I think that Garcelle was absolutely right. Garcelle put the spotlight on Crystal, and Crystal didn't know what to say. So all of a sudden she jumps in and says that Sutton had said something much worse. It was dark. But listen, Bravo is good at throwing a flashback. And Kyle was there. If Kyle had heard Sutton say something horrible, the way Kyle loves to throw Sutton under the bus, there is no way that Kyle would not have brought that out. Kyle is doing everything she can to use everybody else's situations as her storyline this season. There's no way Kyle, the pot stirrer, would have possibly held on to this. Now, I don't care what she says talking to Garcelle, talking about she's a fixer. She doesn't like to stir the pot. You a damn lie. You stir more than you ever fixed. I'm just saying, girl, bye. We see Sutton back at the hotel. She's having a little breakfast with Diana. It was supposed to be her, Diana, and Crystal. Sutton ordered as if she was having a party for 100. All that food, but I tell you what, I'd rather be over at Sutton's hotel eating all that food, not worrying about the dog licking all over my plate and all over my strawberries, than over there at Kyle's house with this mess. Dog all over my meal. I mean, it's just too much. Leave the dogs at home. Put the dogs in a separate room with their own bowl of food and water. You can let them out after that. After that, I'll be happy to throw the ball to you, Bambi. Just not right now. Get away from my shrimp. I'm just saying. I don't care what anybody says. If Sutton would have said something dark, Bravo would have aired that. And you know what? Erika is the most delusional woman on the show. So Erika can say in the same breath that she hopes that none of this really happens, but at the same time, she's saying that these victims lied? What the hell? All I can say is Erika insinuating that these victims are lying is absolutely the most disgusting thing that we have ever seen her say. And we have seen Erika say a lot of disgusting things. This woman is a disgusting person. These people are orphans, widows, cancer patients, burn victims. Why in Sam hell would they make up not being paid? Why would this lawsuit be going on for as long as it's been going? You have not been cleared of anything, ma'am. This case is still in litigation. No, you are not going to jail for this, but you are still in court. Why else would a judge say that the victim to go forth with their lawsuits against you for their money? Girl, if you don't go on somewhere, Erika Girardi Jane, I have had it with you. You know, I do agree that Crystal should be able to use whatever word she wants. You know, last year when she used the word victimized, I wasn't really here for it either. I thought it was a little too much for what happened, but then I started thinking about it, and I think I cleared it up in one of my videos from last season where I said, you know what, if she was standing there naked and she felt victimized, she should be able to use whatever word it is she wants to use. You know, if somebody walked in on me naked, I certainly would feel something. I don't know if it's victimized, but I would definitely feel maybe embarrassed. You know, whatever word she wants to use, they should just accept it. I don't think that anybody has the right to tell her what words to use and how to feel. And I also think that Kyle should shut the hell up and stop saying that she is trying to say her situation has anything to do with Dorit's situation. It doesn't. She is not comparing Sutton walking in on her and Dorit being robbed. Stop bringing that up, Kyle. One thing is for sure, Kyle is absolutely turning Dorit's trauma into her trauma. She is stealing the trauma from Dorit. She has totally stole Dorit's story as hers. It's really embarrassing. You know, Dorit later, we see her in the episode, she's talking to PK, and he tells her that maybe she should take a trip away with the girls to try to relax and, you know, see if she can start to heal. Personally, I think that she should have called a real therapist so that she could work on getting some tools to stop with these panic attacks and then maybe go on a trip with the girls. Later, we see her having some sort of therapy or treatment at the end of the episode. I'm not familiar with that type of therapy. I can't judge it. I guess I'm just happy that she's seeing someone, she's talking to someone. This is very traumatic, and she absolutely needs to see someone. The woman can't sleep. She's crying all the time. She's afraid. I do think she should go to therapy And I do hope that her trip away with the girls will help her at least get some rest, some sort of peace. We also see Sutton with her fashion designer from France. She's giving this Parisian party for him at the store, showing off some of his most recent couture designs. Now, you guys know that I have zero fashion sense. But some of that stuff of his that they showed, I wouldn't want it. And it's so expensive for that ugly mess. And then that dress that she had on, I thought it was awful. I am not a fan of Sutton's style. I'm really not. I mean, $17,000 for that backwards dress. I could have sworn we seen something like that back in the 90s. I'm just saying, it all comes back. You know how fashion goes. But I wouldn't pay $17,000 for that dress. I just can't. I wouldn't. No. And Diana keeps saying that she has never been in a store. Okay, earlier in the episode, you said that you was brought up in the ghetto. Okay, you keep telling us how you were poor at one point in your life. So when you were poor, you never went to the store? You never went to any store at all? Not a Goodwill, not a Salvation Army, nothing? Girl, I think you're a lie. I think you're a liar. You're too pretentious. I can't take it. She's unrelatable. We did find out that Lois had a stroke and she has a do not resuscitate. So Lisa was unable to join the girls for Sutton's fashion event because she was with her mom. And I can tell you that did break my heart, because the best part of Lisa Rinna is Lois. I absolutely adored her mom, and I am so sorry that Lois is gone. And, you know, I do wish the very best to Lisa and her family, because Lois will definitely be missed. Then we have Diana talking about her homes in London.
My home in London was designed by George Armani. Yeah, beautiful, like raffle around, like, you know, yeah.
How much does it cost them, Georgia?
A lot. My previous house in London was done by Fendi.
See what I mean? She's unrelatable. I mean, this woman, and you know, did anybody notice every time she's bragging about all of her possessions and her money and her good times, she always has that little nod of her head and a little smirk at the end? She is so smug. Oh gosh. I really think Diana should come out with a book. She laid it down, got that $250 million from that man, and went on about her business. She is living her best life, being as bougie and pretentious and tacky as she can be.
Why is your press here?
I don't know.
No, that's not cool. How can a friend not think about that, not give me a heads up? Are you that self-absorbed?
What's going on with everything that went down with breaking and entering?
Well, she is unbelievably strong.
Now, honey, listen. Girl, self-absorbed. This is not always about you, Dorit. When you were at Kyle's event, you had no problem walking up to Teddy while she was working as a correspondent for Extra to tell them all about the robbery. Are you serious? But Sutton, for some reason, she can't have media at her event. Honey, listen, she got this man all the way from France. He brought all those ugly, expensive clothes. I'm sorry, that's couture. He brought all those couture clothes across the pond. She should be able to advertise and have a little media. Get on some damn way.
This is Kyle. Dorit has her own line.
Yep. And so do I, by the way.
Kyle hasn't designed one thing. All you do is open up your purse and that lady designs all the clothes. Get the hell out of here. She purposely didn't introduce you as a designer. Now here's Mrs. Fix-It, stirring the pot.
Is everything okay with, like, you and Crystal?
Yeah.
Crystal said something like, what you said was so dark she couldn't say. And I said, that didn't happen.
What she alluded to made me feel like it was something that would change our dynamic if you had said something crazy. Watch your back with your new friend. That's all I'm saying. Friendship is supposed to be about trust. And the minute Crystal felt cornered, she threw Sutton under the bus.
And instead of just defending yourself, you all of a sudden brought up Sutton that she said something so dark and horrible. I was there. And she didn't say anything like, oh my God, horrific.
Here's the thing, you don't remember it and that's fine.
Quit telling me that, Crystal. I don't like that. I do remember.
She said something problematic.
I was there. I heard everything. That's not what happened.
You, in defending yourself, opened up a can of worms, but defend yourself without saying something that you're not prepared to say.
You know what? Sutton doesn't want this to keep going on. She wants to move on and let it go. Now, here's the thing. I think that Crystal threw that out because she didn't have a real response to Garcelle when Garcelle said she thought that Crystal set Sutton up. If you didn't have a real response, you should have moved on, or you should have just said, listen, you're wrong about that. I was not setting Sutton up. You know, or she could have said, you're right about that. I was setting Sutton up because I didn't like her at the time. But I do think that Crystal made this dark comments up because 1, Kyle would have absolutely said something. 2, Bravo would roll the clip. 3, I don't know if Crystal is 100% made up with Sutton. Something doesn't seem right. Plus, you see in the previews for next week, her and Sutton are arguing again. I don't think this friendship is gonna last. And did anybody notice that Kyle was doing a whole press interview when Dorit was so nervous about the press? Kyle didn't have any problems interviewing and talking about Dorit. I'm telling you, Kyle has turned Dorit's trauma into her trauma. She said, oh, Dorit made the comment, I can't believe the press are here. I can't do this right now. And she walks right into Sutton's store. Not Kyle, honey, no, I'm working the red carpet. I'm talking to the press. Now, Crystal, listen, if Sutton says something wrong, she should be able to come right out and say whatever it was. And you can't go and say that the word dark doesn't mean anything because words have meanings. They have context. And the way she said it does make it sound as if Sutton said something racist. So Garcelle is on the right track. Sutton, watch out for your new friends because she is making it sound as if you were saying something racist. I don't think that that's true. I think that Crystal just didn't know what to say or how to defend herself, so she threw Sutton under the bus. I don't know, you guys. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think. Do you think that Sutton said something that was really dark? How are you feeling about Diana? Are you warming up to her? I don't like her still. And is Kyle a fixer or does she stir the pot? Personally, I think we all know that Kyle is not fixing anything. The only thing Kyle fixes is a drink. I'm just saying. And Erika, gosh, she just doesn't care about anybody but herself. This season is making Erika look worse than she did last season. And this is the season where she's supposed to be able to take a breath and move forward a little bit. Remember, she's been cleared. All of that stuff has been disproven. That woman is out of her damn mind. Anyway, you guys, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.